Hey, happy Monday. Hope everybody's well. Well, this probably isn't going to set well with a lot of people, but what else is new? The last month, 2 months, I have been seeing a lot of the same patterns. So that's what I want to talk about. We are discussing the ego versus your heart and soul. This gets interesting. As we know, in any given situation, you have three options: react, respond, walk away, right? In any conflict, any situation. If you react and you get triggered and you mouth off, or you start an argument, or there is an argument and conflict is engaged, that's your ego. I guarantee you that is your ego. You have to set that aside. You have to know when to turn it off. And that's hard. A lot of people are right fighters. They're going to argue just to be right. It doesn't work like that. Sorry. It does not work like that. If possible, respond. Responding takes a moment of thought. You can look at the person that's trying to trigger you and is just getting on that nerve and just say, okay. That's it. That's all you have to do. Look at them and say, okay. And turn around and walk away. You have acknowledged them. You were polite. And you turn around and walk away. That is not ego. This is so frustrating for me. People will come to me for, I have pain management that I do, and then I have trauma therapy. And so often they're intertwined. They're having issues at work, at home, with stress, anxiety, migraines, heartburn, chest pain, and they go to their doctor, and I work with a lot of docs, and the docs will say, you need to call Brenda. If you're not wanting to take meds and do what I'm telling you to do, call Brenda. Okay. And the doctors will tell them, listen to what she's going to say. Because I treat the doctors too, most likely. And that's great. I am not Willy Wonka. I do not sugarcoat. I am a straight shooter. And we'll sit down, we'll find out what the problem is. And, if it's migraines, if it's reflux, we can take care of that. That's easy. That is very, very easy to deal with. That's simple. Stress, anxiety are pretty simple. So we will get that under control immediately so you're feeling better. And then we need to start working on how to change, how to change your behaviors to keep this from happening again. This is once again where ego gets involved, because people don't like this. They want, fairy dust and a magic wand, and sorry, I'm out. It doesn't work like that. I'm sorry, dear, it doesn't. It's okay. Let's find out what's triggering you. What's going on at home that is making you so stressed? A lot of times I hear from single parents. That's all I need to say is single parents, and everybody goes, oh yeah. I was a single mom. It is very, very stressful. It is very stressful. You have children that you love and adore, and you want them to do well, and you're trying to work, and you have the input of friends, you have the input of family. Everybody knows better than you, and you're kind of, at times you feel like you're treading water. And if there's you have the other parent, whether they're in the picture or not, they may be sniping at you and criticizing you, and it's very, very stressful. It is, because you just feel like nobody hears you. Everybody thinks they know better than you, and you are just banging your head against a wall. Okay. We can deal with that. We can deal with that. If it's a work issue, work can be stressful, and you got to keep the job to get the insurance, to get the paycheck. You've got to work. Okay. There are ways to manage the stress at work. Some bosses are easier to work with than others, and we have all had bosses that even on their worst day, they were great. And there are bosses, well, they're still waiting for that great, because they're stinkers, and they know it, and they enjoy it. They may be a narcissist. They may be a reactive abuser that they like to piss people off. I can teach you coping skills. That's not an issue. But you have to set your ego aside. They don't want to do that because so many times they have been a victim their entire life. Maybe they were molested as a child, abused as a child, neglected or abandoned as a child. They made poor choices in adolescence and high school, poor choices in college, and that got them into a lot of trouble. Maybe not legal trouble, but it just did not work out well for them. So they see themselves as what I call a perma-victim. They're permanently a victim. The whole world was cruel to them. You don't know how horrible I've had it. Or as someone I once knew would say, you don't know what pain is. Oh, Lord. Everybody has a story. We have all been victims of something, of a narcissist, of a reactive abuser, of, bad relationships, sexual abuse, domestic violence, whatever it is. At some point, we have all encountered something. So we can all honestly say, I have been a victim at some point. That's not a badge of honor. You need to trade I'm a victim in for I'm a survivor. Let go of being a victim. People want to be a victim because they think people are going to cut them a break. It's attention-seeking behavior. I'm a victim. This and this and this happened to me. Poor me. This and this and this happened to me. Maybe they'll cut me a break. Maybe I can get some sympathy and empathy. And no, it doesn't work like that. Somebody may empathize. They may understand. Maybe they've been there in the past. But honey, it's time to let that go. Do not be a perma-victim. Let it go. We can work through it. When I say we or me, any therapist can do this. It's not like I have the keys to the kingdom. Anybody can help you do this. Any therapist. You have to let go of being a victim. Check it. Put the ego aside and heal. You have to. It's just not worth it. It is not worth continually being a victim. I have to be careful. I have new neighbors moving in and around here. I'm in an apartment complex. And as soon as they find out what I do, oh my gosh, I want to talk to you. I want to treat with you because you don't know what I've been through. And inside my head, I'm thinking, I don't want to know what you've been through. Go find a different therapist because we're neighbors. No, I'm not treating you. Because you can tell right there, they're locked into, I'm a victim. I get to be a victim. I get to be a victim. And this person's going to sit here and listen to me whine. No, I'm not. I don't do that. I will listen to you, and then I am going to help you work through that, take control of your life, and move forward. Drop the label. Drop the victim label and become a survivor. That's what you have to do. Recently I had people reach out to me through social media all the time. Somebody reached out recently, wanted, they just had questions, and that's fine. I was trying to direct them and guide them, and they were so stuck in being a victim, they didn't want to hear anything that I said, because they would ask me a question and I would answer it, and they would answer, yeah, but, this happened to me and that happened to me, and they're so stuck in being a victim, they don't want to hear the answers. So I called in the recruits. I sent them to somebody else. I have no problem doing that. I have some wonderful resources out there. And that's what I did, because they didn't want to hear what I had to say, because I wasn't going to let them continue to be the victim. Get your egos in check. Many times people give us labels from the time we're a baby. Today, it's continually. So you have, I can't talk. You have labels, you have narratives, you have stories about you. And when you're little, and even I guess as adults, people give you labels. She's a hard worker. She's really nice. Oh, she's a bitch. Oh, she's this, she's that. She thinks she's the greatest. She's really, okay. That goes from labels to stories and narratives, because they're telling their impression of you, their story about you, that may get back to you, and you may believe it. Very easily can believe it. My favorite example in my life, my ex-husband, would tell me every day, I'm old. He's about 10 years older. that I was old, I was fat, I was ugly, and no one would ever want me. And I heard that every day for many, many, many years. I believed that for many years. Those are labels, stories, and narratives that he gave me that I was dumb enough to buy into, because I truly was a victim of domestic violence. Once I pulled out of that, once I left that toxic relationship, I started seeing clearly. It was like, what the hell? Why would I ever believe that crap? You throw away those labels, because you can do that. You discard those narratives, you discard those stories, and you give yourself new labels. I am not old. I'm aged. I'm 64. So, I am what I am. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I am by no means fat. I am by no means ugly. And I have a beautiful heart and soul. I could care less what he thinks. I could care less what anybody thinks, because I'm me. I'm happy with me. And that's the point I want other people to get to. Drop the victim, create the new label, the new narrative, the new story for yourself. Learn from the past, learn the life lessons, and go forward. It can be done. Now, I am not saying this to get new clients. I am saying this because I am hoping somewhere out there, one person will hear this and say, oh my God, that applies to me. I get that. And they will get the help they need. It's that easy. But you have to check the ego. Just because you're not hearing what you want to hear from your boss, from your friend, from your doctor, people doctor shop, they will go, or dentist shop for that reason, whatever. They want to hear a specific diagnosis. They want to receive a specific medication. Maybe they want a surgery. Sorry, there are protocols before you get to that point. There are hoops you got to jump through for insurance to pay, and that's just the way the world works. At least in the US, that's how the world works. People don't like that, so they will go from person to person to person to person until they hear what they want to hear. In the past, I have had students. I will never again have another student. I am never going down this path again. It was my life lesson to learn. Because they do great, and then it comes time in their life to start bringing them into check on ego. And you tell them, you want to change this and this and this in your life. You have to change your behavior about the situation. And no, it's everybody else. Victim, victim, victim. It's everybody else. It's not them. And so it just got to a point that they were so stuck in being a perma victim in all aspects of their life. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. They would never move forward. They are going to keep repeating life lessons until they get past this hurdle, and they're not willing to get past that hurdle. Being a victim has been their comfort zone. I have had this with probably 3 different students that I have had. Okay, if you're not willing, to accept my help and my guidance, good luck to you and yours. And I cut them loose. Yeah, and this has been 3 students over probably 40 years, 30 or 40 years. Never again. No, because it's just, I put my heart and soul into every patient, every client, every student that I have. I mean, they have access to me 24/7. And it's just, you give so much and they don't want to hear it, because it gets to a point they're wanting to hear, you poor thing, the world is so bad to you, you poor baby. And yeah, bad shit happened. Time to suck it up and move forward. Change your life and get rolling. So that was my life lesson to learn. So, walking away from this, please check your ego. If you're having conflict in your life, how are you handling that? Are you reacting? Are you responding? Are you walking away? If somebody is intentionally trying to trigger you, if they're a reactive abuser, they're abusing you to get your reaction. They want to see you upset and flustered and in tears, and that's the goal. No. Just look at them. Say, okay, turn around, walk away. You just let all the air out of their balloon, you ruin their day. They can find somebody else to abuse. Think about it. If you have questions, reach out. But I think it's pretty clear, what I'm saying. Check your ego. And if you want changes in your life, honey, you're the one that has to make them. Get rid of the old labels. Get rid of the old stories. Get rid of the old narratives that you've given yourself that, that you'll never be anything, that you're stuck in this position. You're always going to be poor. You're always going to live in this town. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. Only if you believe it, you can make changes. Think about it.